Yeah, we had a lackluster start in the game, and this time of year you can feel teams trying to figure out like who's going to get after it when shots don't go in, because it happens this time of year. I mean, there's games where you come out and like we did tonight where the ball didn't go in, and then it's like, what kind of grit do you have? And I didn't think we played with the kind of grit that we wanted to till we got to that last 5 minutes or 6 minutes at the end of the half. Then we started flying around and started being more aggressive and started making plays at the basket, and it wasn't such a casual approach, and we can't have that in the Big 12. You cannot. And give them credit. I think they're as physical a team defensively in our league. They've proven that by all the games they play. They play in very close games. I think this is probably maybe one of the largest margins of victory against their team because they just scrap, man. Give Coach DeVries credit. He's got those guys playing really, really hard. And I don't think we made them miss a bunch. I think they missed some shots. I do think over the course of the game, though, in the second half, we came out with the fight that we needed. And I give that credit to Chance McMillan. I mean, Chance's heart, his communication, his belief in himself. He wanted to play today on senior day and wasn't able to because we were very cautious with him in his situation, knowing we're going to need him down the stretch. And, man, I thought his will carried over in our team. And what a great opportunity that we had in the second half to let other guys play and prove that we can compete and win. And we did, man. We fought that second half the way we needed to. And this guy was a big part of it, man. His minutes, his ability to guard small, his effort defensively is I'm more thrilled about. Everybody's going to talk about his offense, but he's remarkable in the pick and roll. He's remarkable in scoring in the middle when he's not hesitating, but his defense has gotten so much better. And his ability to put his nose in the middle of the game the entire time, regardless of the success, is what I'll tell you I think is the difference. And, man, what a tremendous game Chris had.
Well, you coach says nobody wants to talk about your defense. I do want to talk about your defense. You had the matchup of Small. That's a tough matchup. He's physical for you. So what was kind of the key for you to kind of just wall up and not give him any space for when he was kind of trying to back you down?
Yeah. Obviously, he's one of the best guards in the league, and if not the country. And I think it's just very important for us, like as a team, to be in the help side, be in the gaps, kind of shrink the floor so he didn't see too much space when he was on offense. And defensively, I just try to guard him without fouling, trying to make him go which way I wanted him to. And I think that's what really worked tonight.
Where do you think you kind of are in your progression as a defender? I know that's just kind of you just got to kind of be in it to do it and get better. Where do you think you're at this stage of the season?
Yeah. I've never really been a defender anywhere I played. So, and when I got here at Tech, they've really pushed me. Coach Mack, the coaching staff, my teammates, they really push me and keep me accountable on the defensive end. And I think there's so much more I need to work on and learn, but I think it's getting better every single game and every single day. And I think when I'm focused and trying to really do what we have as a game plan and as a team defensively, I think that's when I'm at my best. And yeah, like I said, every game I think I'm getting better, and it's thanks to the team.
Yeah, you talked about your game getting better. Your confidence has grown a lot too. What do you give credit that to? Do you give that to Coach or just?
Yeah, I give it to everybody. Coach obviously has all the trust in the world in me. Coaching staff, my teammates, like Chance McMillan wasn't playing, but every single break, every single time he got the chance, he's telling me, keep making plays, keep being aggressive, keep playing defense. So, confidence comes from myself, the coaches, and teammates all. So, I think that's what keeps me going.
Your first collegiate start on senior day, like you said, Chance gives you a bunch of motivation. When you have guards like Chance and Elijah to help you go and have a career day like today, what does that mean to you to have that support?
It's what I expect from them, and I have all the trust in them, and everybody on the team, E, like you said, E, and Chance specifically. I think we get along super well off the court. And on the court, I think it translates. They have all the trust, and, they keep pushing me. E's played for a long time in this league, or not this league, but just college basketball, and so has Chance. And, they kind of give me their experience, and they know what it looks like to win. And, they keep telling me, like I said, in the timeouts and during the breaks. Every chance they get, they just keep trying to encourage me. So, yeah.
Yeah, Coach, coming into this game, what was the defensive tactics and strategy that y'all were going to use to try to slow down Small?
Yeah, well, one, I mean, I think you got to pick a side of the floor that you want him to play on and which direction you want to go first and foremost. And then, depending on who's in the ball screen, as vertical as you can get him going backwards so he's not going downhill. I mean, when he goes left, he can really shoot it. And when he goes right, he can really get to the rim, pass, and score. So, we tried to limit his ability to go left and score. And that was the biggest thing. And we weren't as vertical as we wanted to be early in the game, but our ability to stay attached to him and make him go where we wanted, I thought really gave us an advantage. And then you got to do it with multiple defenders. And I thought the most significant part that Chris mentioned was, like, who's in help and how are you helping, so that when you do put 2 on the ball, what advantage are they getting? And 11 got a 3 when it was on the side in a different situation. 13 got 3s to start the game, and those weren't the shots that we wanted to give up, and we didn't execute it like we wanted to in the first half. In the second half, we did. I mean, we got the shots from the guys that we wanted to. And honestly, I thought they got some pretty good looks, and they didn't make them on a night, and that's difficult. I think it wears on you as a team. But the guys that we wanted shooting it in the second half was more like what we hoped.
Did JT and Federico play more simultaneously in this game than they did at any point in the season? And if so, was that because you were just down numbers with Chance out, or what was going on there?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was down numbers, and then, Darian Williams had that little spill in the middle of the floor. I mean, against TCU, we played without Darian Williams, so that was probably at home. That game was a game that was similar to these two guys playing a majority, and man, was Fede's defense awesome. I mean, I thought his activity level was amazing. JT obviously had a tough start to the game. That's what I loved about his game more than anything. I think he may started 0 for 6 from the field, maybe something like that. And for him to start that way and then finish 9 for 16 says a lot about his resilience and his ability to stay engaged in the play. Man, and Kevin Overton was unbelievable with those guys. I mean, I thought that was a good combination because KO's length, he was able to go in there and rebound too with both of those guys in there, and his attacking the rim opened up the floor. And when you got a guy like Elijah Hawkins that plays the point and plays, I think, 10, Harris is maybe one of the best defenders in the country, especially in our league. And for E to have 5 assists and only 1 turnover against him, I mean, that's what sets Chris up. That's what sets JT up. That's what allows us to play those two guys together. So then you don't have to worry about all these outlets and pressure. He can handle it, and then you can get to offense. And, man, it was a big lift for us to be able to play JT and Fede together, and I thought they were fantastic.
Speaking of KO, he had some tough baskets and was pretty physical around the rim. What can you say about his progression throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think the maturity is what I will tell you about KO that I think she showed today. I mean, he obviously played last year for Coach DeVries at Drake, and so this game can go a couple ways for you. I mean, you're playing against your former, staff members that he knows and players that he knows and coaches, and I just thought he settled in and did it the right way. And the way he did it was he was ultra aggressive going to the basket. Not settling. He took that 1-3, and then he had a little bit of a late switch in the first half, but I thought he responded to the coaching and responded to the game, and, man, I thought he made a huge difference with his rebounds. I don't know what the number is. Getting old. But, yeah, he had 6 rebounds, man. I mean, 2 offensive, and that's probably one of the season highs for him, I would guess, or close to it. So, man, I thought that part of the game was really where he put his mark.
Coach, you talked about the other day after TCU just not winning the effort plays and not winning in that regard, I guess. Did it surprise you today at all that your physicality just progressively got more intense as the game wore on, even though you had only 7 and I guess even 6 when Darian went down?
Yeah, no, I love the fight. This is what I told them, man. This time of the year is about, when it gets difficult, do you like being in the ring? I mean, it's real. You know, like some people, they play and they're just like cool with the result and just kind of want to keep it moving. And man, there just has to be a relentless approach, and we're about to see that relentless approach on Monday night. I mean, there's teams that fight you, and West Virginia is one of those teams that fight you consistently. And I thought tonight our grit to play in the second half was significant and showed kind of what you have to be like this time of year.
And I know we've asked questions similar to this, I guess, when other guys went down, but I guess had this been maybe like Houston today, what do you think the odds of Chance playing would have been?
Oh, man. I think if this was the last game of the year, Chance is playing, you know. But right now, we just need him. We got games to play, quite a few games to play. So just I think it's like everybody in the country is trying to navigate, like, is there a severity that could increase the opportunity for him to be out longer? And in this situation, I think we felt like we wanted to get him more toward healthy than figure out a way to get him on the court.
On Christian's defense, he's a freshman. He's had moments of good, some moments of bad. TCU kind of hunted him a little bit on Tuesday, but to put him in that situation, you got small. What led to that decision? How did you just kind of see him be able to kind of handle that in that opportunity?
Well, I mean, you know, he fouled out against TCU. And, you know, to their credit, they showed a lot of patience, but they got a lot of different guys that were putting pressure on us in that game. In this one, we felt like if we could keep them in front and not give up angles, that it would be to our advantage. And the thing about Christian is he embraces this. This means a lot to him. And defense doesn't mean a lot to a lot of people. I mean, he said it himself. Like, he hasn't been a defender ever in his life, he hasn't been expected to be one of the best defenders. But his anticipation and his just competitiveness is as good as anybody I've coached. And so his motor never stops. And that, to me, is what makes you a great defender, is you're just relentless in your approach. Sometimes, though, your relentless approach and your aggressiveness, and this is what he commented on, you're so aggressive that you overrun plays because you're trying so hard. And then that's where he's fouled. But that's what he said. He had 0 fouls. I mean, that's unbelievable because he had 5 the other day. That, to me, tells you the maturity at which he's understanding. I mean, we showed him every clip of the fouls he had, and it wasn't for a lack of effort. It was just a lack of understanding what the technique is in those moments, and that playing hard's a prerequisite for being great, but knowing how to do it and executing it, that's what he's saying. Like, when you go out there and do it, technique is as important when you're playing hard. And I think he's learning that, and he wants to learn that. That's the difference. Some people don't want to learn that. They just want to get the ball. To his credit, he wants to know how to be a great defender because he wants to win. And so that's what I'll tell you. I've given him he deserves all the credit he gets because he works that hard and he cares that much and he wants to be that great. And not many people are willing to put it in, whether it be the coaching or the film session or taking accountability. He wants all of it, and he's still going to play hard every possession. But when he's got the ball in pick and roll and he's on offense, he's a monster. Dude is as good in the country as anybody. And I'll take him over any freshman in the country. I love him. Why? It's because of his approach and his relentless effort. That's what makes him a great defender. And now he's starting to learn the nuances of it, and everybody's seeing it for what it can be.
Kevin's kind of the guy, maybe the short end, where you're playing Christian and Elijah a lot more together, or you don't take Chance off too often. Is this kind of not just the production, but the mentality and the aggressiveness you want to see from him to get him some more minutes down the stretch here?
Yeah, Kevin Overton changes our team. And you can see it in the way that he attacks the basket because we don't have great attacks that can score over the top of people at the rim at the wing spots. I mean, we got great scorers and we got great shooters, but not a lot of guys that are putting their nose down in transition, getting all the way to the basket and getting and ones. And that's where he really changes our team. And if we can get him cutting more, and he embraced it tonight. I mean, I honestly, if there's anybody I walked away from this, I thought JT's resilience was awesome. Christian was awesome. I thought KO's maturity and the way he handled this game today said a lot about who he is and what he's capable of.
Yeah, I know you hate looking ahead a little bit, but Houston on Monday, we know about the physicality, about how physical and tough they are, but how much of a matchup like this is mental as much as it is physical, being prepared for and handling it as you're kind of taking it on?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're saying it exactly what this game is. This game is about an approach and about a mentality and a willingness to stay in the middle of it. You can't ever get on the outside of these games. I mean, you got to be willing to put your nose right in the middle of these games, and nobody does that better than Houston. And so if we want to be the program that everybody loves, then this game on Monday will be a great barometer for what our grit level is. All right, appreciate y'all.